The man in the video is named Pete Shrum. He's a hard-working 61-year-old Korean War veteran with a wife and 3 children, and he's about to experience something that no human being should ever have to go through. I'll show you the footage, but first, let me give you a little context. Upon returning back to America after the Korean War, the young sergeant would have to build a life for himself. He returned home to his wife, Mary, whom he had married just before the war, and somewhere along the line, he would end up working in the insurance industry. Pete stayed in insurance for the majority of his career and created a respectable life for himself in his home state of Texas, having 3 children with Mary and being a well-loved local in his community. Later on in his career, as he got a bit older, he worked as a clerk at a gas station in Mesquite, Texas, where he was set to retire in June of 1993. The footage you're watching takes place in March of 1993, just 3 months before his planned retirement. This night was, by all accounts, a very routine night on the job for Pete. Ring people out for fuel and 99C treats, keep things tidy, and take any phone calls that may have come in. Somewhere along the line, though, things took a very dark turn. The footage starts with one of his regular customers, Peggy Wells, coming in to pay for a tank of gas. Pete tells her what she owes, and Peggy quickly realizes she forgot her purse, prompting her to run back out of the store and grab it.
I was trying to read tanks.
I thought you forgot me.
No, I usually takes about 20 minutes. I've got 6, 8, I got 48. I got to put the gallons in the...
I got to go out the car and get my other purse.
Okay, got the wrong pair? All right.
Nothing about this was out of the ordinary until another customer walked in while Peggy was running to her car. This next customer begins talking to Pete, and as he's doing so, you can see a different man waiting right outside of the door. I'm sure by now you can probably see where this is going. While the man at the counter distracted Pete, the individual who was waiting outside takes his opportunity and rushes in, pulling a gun on Pete and demanding that he opens the register. Pete complied without a hitch, quickly opening the machine. But unfortunately, there was one problem. The register only had $18 in it. This highly aggravated the armed criminal, resulting in him making the most disturbing choice he could have possibly made in this moment. He shot Pete 3 times in his abdomen before they both panic and run off with the money. On the way out, he'd fire a couple more shots and hit Peggy in the shoulder as she was walking back in with her money. But interestingly, Peggy didn't even feel this at all, and she had no idea she was hit until after. She was too focused on whether or not Pete was okay. Upon entering, she would get her answer and quickly leave to get help. The remainder of the footage is absolutely vile, and it bothered me a lot. He laid there helplessly and started to experience the infamous death rattle, moaning and snoring until he went quiet. I simply can't risk showing you guys this audio, but there are age-restricted YouTube videos of this, and you can find them super easily if you're above 18. A nurse happened to be nearby shortly thereafter, but it was already too late. First responders would arrive and come to the same conclusion. Thanks to the CCTV footage, the hunt would end as quickly as it started for these 2 deranged criminals. They were also found to be associated with countless other robberies in the area in the years prior. The man talking to Pete at the counter was identified as 22-year-old Wayne Hampton, and the one who took Pete Shrum's life was Wayne's accomplice and younger uncle, 18-year-old Anthony Bernard Hampton, also nicknamed Elmo. This dude was nicknamed after a fucking Muppet. They were promptly sentenced to life in prison and had to serve 35 years until they'd be eligible for parole in 2028. Also, they were spared the death penalty despite everyone involved pushing for it. Thankfully, at least for the shooter, he won't be anytime soon, as in 2022. This dude attempted to sexually assault a public servant while locked up, and when it didn't work, just straight up assaulted them. So that added another 20 years to his sentence. Hurts me a lot to see what happened to this poor man, and I hope his family has found peace in the years since. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this type of dark material, please consider liking and subscribing. I upload 1 to 2 videos like this every week, and I appreciate you watching.